India has been cursed by its own geography. It has been put in a bad neighborhood. China and Pakistan are knocking on its door. Both states do not like India and want to do whatever they can to contain it. China is the bigger threat to India because it has so much power. China has a massive population and military. India is also reliant on them for trade. They have border disputes with each other, and China has enough money to influence the rest of India's neighbors. China can do whatever it wants, but I think India has the better fighting spirit. India has been able to deal with whatever gets thrown its way. Indians are extremely nationalistic and will unite against a common foe. One could say the same thing about China, but the Chinese fighting spirit has always felt lacking. Of course, this is just my opinion from studying history. Pakistan is less of a threat to India, but they are still rivals. India and Pakistan do not get along. They have fought multiple wars over the years, but India has the bigger population. There is no doubt in my mind that India would win a major war against Pakistan. India, Pakistan, and China all have nuclear weapons, but these weapons are useless. They can't be used in a real fight, and the first state to use them in the modern world would be deemed as a bad guy. Any major war will come down to who has the stronger nationalism, gods, and fighting spirit. India has more neighbors than just Pakistan and China. India is also forced to deal with Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Maldives, and Myanmar. India and Nepal have historically been on good terms with each other. India is in control of much of their trade routes, so they have a lot of leverage. The people in Nepal recently toppled their government and replaced it with a new one. It is unclear if this situation will favor India or China. It could go either way. But China has been increasing its relations with Nepal in recent years. Sri Lanka seems to be dominated by Chinese influence. I would like this to change, but I'm not sure that it will. This means that Sri Lanka is going to be a geopolitical threat to India for the foreseeable future. Colombo is likely playing both sides of this conflict, but I am unsure how long they will be able to keep this up, especially since the Chinese government controls a port in Sri Lanka. India could increase its influence in the country, but this port is always going to be a sore spot. Bangladesh is on good terms with India. The only real issue between both states is immigration. The Maldives is problematic because they play both sides of this geopolitical rivalry. They fluctuate between supporting China and India. India is forced to give them economic aid to keep them on top. I personally think this economic aid would be better off going to the Indian people. Most Indians are poor. There's no reason to be giving economic aid to a bunch of Muslims that hate Hindus. China controls Myanmar, so they are a problem for India. India's Myanmar situation is not one that can be easily fixed. I talked about this in a previous video, but I would love to see America and India do a regime change in Myanmar. Myanmar is vital for Indian and US national security. We aren't beating China in a major war without controlling Myanmar first. This is a lesson that was learned during World War II, but the US seems to have forgotten it. India is in a bad neighborhood. The Chinese government is trying to contain them on every side, so the Indian government will have a rough time in a future conflict. But I don't think a bunch of atheists and globalist Muslims will be able to beat India in the modern world. The world is heading towards nationalism. China and Pakistan are severely lacking in this area. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic day or night.